It's amazing to me that the shill media finds new ways every day to prove to us that they have no idea what they're talking about. Before I get started, I'd like to kindly ask that you hit the like button, and please subscribe to the channel for more content just like this.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
I'm on record as saying that Joker 2019 was one of the best things to happen to comic book movies in a long time. And I stand by that statement, so much so that I would put Joker up against anything produced by Marvel Studios or DC and WB for that matter. From a pure cinematic standpoint, Joker is going to win that battle every fucking time. You see, that's the difference between me and everyone else who talks about this shit. I don't look at comic book movies from a pure comic book fan perspective. When you take these characters and stories and put them in the realm of cinema, then I have to judge them differently.
That makes sense.
This is why I'm not satisfied by the lazy paint-by-numbers bullshit that we currently get from the genre. To me, you shouldn't be making a comic book movie in the modern era unless you're looking to do something special. You have to do something to set yourself apart from everything else being produced in the genre. This is exactly why Joker hit on a different level for me personally. Because it was a unique take on an iconic character and it wasn't afraid to be its own thing. That's why movies like Joker win awards and why movies like Multiverse of Madness are forgotten in a day or two.
Get what you fucking deserve!
It's all about artistic integrity, folks. It's about hiring a director and allowing him or her to do their job. And oftentimes that means not forcing them to work within the confines of an established universe. So I was scrolling through my newsfeed and I came across this article from the garbage tier shill website that is ScreenRant, with the headline that reads, WB is looking in the wrong direction for its new DC cinematic universe.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
As if ScreenRant has any fucking clue what good entertainment actually is. Why anyone would take this site's opinion seriously is beyond me. The rumor circulating right now is that Discovery and WB are circling Joker director Todd Phillips to lead the reboot of their DC cinematic universe. And apparently this particular writer at ScreenRant thinks this is a bad idea.
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
I guess the idea is that Discovery wants Todd Phillips to assume a Kevin Feige-like role with them at WB and DC. Now, if I'm being honest with you, I don't think a Kevin Feige-like figure is necessary for DC. I mean, Kevin Feige isn't even Kevin Feige anymore. But everyone who comments on this situation at DC seems to be obsessed with the idea of a shared cinematic universe being necessary for that franchise's success.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Now, if we look at DC and WB's recent track record, the success of Joker, or The Batman, or Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy paint a very different picture. Here's an idea: maybe stop trying to treat everything like the MCU and do your own fucking thing. Fuck a cinematic universe, how about tell a great story and keep winning awards?
Goddamn right, that's the only way I work, Cap.
But I digress. If in fact the plan is to have an established DCEU and have an overseer for that property, while Todd Phillips probably wouldn't be my first choice for that job, I personally don't see an issue with hiring a creative person who's already proven that he can create and execute a unique vision for these characters. But the shills over at ScreenRant aren't convinced, apparently. These are probably the same idiots who were calling Joker problematic before that movie was even released.
Fuck you!
Now, it's one thing for you to disagree with the prospect of Todd Phillips taking this job. If you are going to do that, then please at least come to me with valid reasons. In other words, don't come to me with reasoning like ScreenRant has. They claim that, quote, Warner Brothers needs someone at the helm who knows their stuff, who knows DC as well as Kevin Feige knows Marvel. Do you mean the same Kevin Feige that produces content that shits on the source material weekly? That Kevin Feige?
That is one big pile of shit.
But hold on, because this is the part that really got to me. They said, quote, it needs someone with experience steering multi-billion-dollar blockbusters in a planned, coherent direction. I realized that Joker was just one movie, But if someone like Todd Phillips takes a relatively low-budget concept and ends up making you $1 billion on the back end, I think I would have enough confidence in them to let them steer some more projects. That, my friends, is math that even the simplest of simps can still do.
I'd buy that for $1.
They go on to say, quote, "It needs someone whose style lends itself to comic book adaptations. While Joker was successful, it wasn't a comic book movie. Todd Phillips went to great lengths to steer Joker away from the more fantastical side of comic book storytelling and set it in the real world."
No shit.
You're damn right he did, and he created a masterpiece by doing just that. Now, as a movie guy, I understand the notion that certain directors have their own unique styles. But I would argue that Joker was a vast departure from anything that Todd Phillips had done before that. And can someone explain to me why people consistently deal in absolutes in the modern era? Just because Todd Phillips made a dark and gritty, realistic comic book movie, and yes, it is a comic book movie, it doesn't mean that everything he ever produces is going to be just that.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Maybe Todd Phillips is smart enough and creative enough to realize that each individual character will require its own uniquely written story, as well as their own unique tones. Because, you know, that's how movies work. Maybe if you got your head out of Marvel's ass long enough, you would realize that not everything needs to be so uniform and so formulaic. Not everything has to be fantastical, or goofy, or cringe. I mean, there are instances where those things could work, sure, but that's up to the creative mind of Todd Phillips to figure out, and not the hacks at ScreenRant.
Now shut the fuck up and let me do my job!
After reading this, I really do hope he actually does get the job now, just to see the shills go into panic mode. Because you know they're going to try to start sabotaging his movies just like they did with Joker. Meanwhile, people like me will be enjoying ourselves watching these movies, and Todd will be laughing his ass off all the way to the bank, and probably making better movies than any of the garbage that ScreenRant usually swears by.
Man, I'm tired of being right.
Y'all be cool. Shut up.